Hi, family. Welcome to Windsor, one of the hottest real estate markets in Canada. We got a chance today to look at the different ways you can invest in Windsor, Ontario, whether it's through multiplexes, detached single-family homes, or commercial property. As we all know, there's no one-size-fits-all for any investment. Making the right decisions with the right person by your side is the way that you can produce the best outcome. So stay tuned and watch as we share some valued information to help make your investment a successful one. Let me know if you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Good stuff. Amazing. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Nikki, how are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. So far we have 4 people in, and I know we're waiting for a few more. So I'll just give it a little bit of a minute and maybe just introduce myself and get to know everyone who's in here. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can raise my volume.
Okay.
Okay, much better. All right. Okay, so we have Norda. Norda, you're here?
Yes, hi everyone.
Hi, Norda.
Hey.
Nice to meet you. And we
I'm on Facebook. Yeah. I'm Norma Dean, so I just wanted to.
Norma Dean.
My Facebook alias is Norma Dean. So.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you want us to call you?
Norda's fine.
Norda?
Yeah.
Done.
Cool.
Awesome. And are you like a realtor? Are you just looking to invest? Like,
I'm not a realtor.
You're a realtor.
Yeah, I'm looking to invest. No, I'm not a realtor. I just.
You're not a realtor, but you're looking to invest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's awesome. And also we have Kevin here, who is a mortgage specialist, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
He's also from the Windsor area, so he knows a lot about the Windsor area. So I invited him on the call so that he can, just share, back me up here on some information and that goes on here in the Windsor real estate market. We also have Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Good to hear you.
Yes, thank you so much for the invite.
Oh, no problem. So Jessica, you're also an investor. So you want to kind of get to know the Windsor market. I'm correct, right?
Not an investor yet. Hope we got that title soon, but yes,
to be investor.
Manifest it, yes.
We all have to start from somewhere, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And then we have Jamcor, and I know this is not your first name, so.
It's Corey.
Corey.
Arlington, yeah.
Hi, Corey. Good to meet you.
Good to
so
meet you.
A little bit of background on you. Are you an investor? Are you a realtor, agent?
Potential investor.
Potential investor. Okay, that's awesome. So seemed like Jessica, we all going to start somewhere, and Norda, we're going to get this going so that we can get as much information today as possible. And hopefully this could be a very informative session. You guys feel free to ask any questions. You can always raise your hand in the raise hand section. I'm sure we've been Zooming for 2 years now. What is it, a year since this pandemic? So I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with how Zoom works. So, right? So if you have a question, just feel free to raise your hand and I'll try to address you. And we can, hit on subjects that are interesting to you and stuff that you want to be able to share. Hi, Adija, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good. We're just doing greetings just to get so I can know all who's in this room, everyone who's here, and we get a chance to kind of familiarize ourselves with, are you an agent or are you just a potential investor?
So I'm not an agent. I'm just looking to see, I already planned in my head. I said that I was going to move to Windsor in 18 to 24 months. And I saw you post that you're like a realtor in Windsor. And I had meant to reach out to you. And it just so happened that I saw this today. So I was like, oh, bingo.
Done. You see how life
Perfect.
works?
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
That's awesome. So I'm going to try to give you guys as much information as I have on the Windsor, Essex area. And just so that you know how the market is working out here, what potential investments you guys can be involved in, get a little bit of understanding at where the economy is at this point and where we're going to be in the next few years. I'm not a psychic, but I mean, just based on what's in development right now, definitely some great things are going to be happening in Windsor over the course of a few years, and I wanted to share those with you and let you know thinking and considering Windsor is definitely going to be a good investment for you. I see Judy. Hi, Judy. I just want to make sure I welcome everyone in.
Hi, I'm here. I had my hands full, so with grandbabies, so I'm off. I'm here, but I'm off screen. Please bear with me.
No problem. That's fine. You don't need to be on screen. As long as I hear your beautiful voice, we're good.
No problem.
Okay. All right, guys. So where I want to start is I definitely want to welcome everybody and thank you guys for coming and joining. I'm really passionate about investing in Windsor, not only because I'm a Windsor agent, but because I have had a chance to get firsthand account of what goes on here in the market and the potential that this market has to offer for investors. So where I am still fairly new to real estate. I've been doing investing for years. I'm very familiar with, making sure that you have cash flow, making the right investments, investing in things that will produce, that are sustainable, for lack of a better word, something that is sustainable. And a lot of people question the Windsor market because they're like, well, doesn't it have a really high, unemployment rate? And, is it a sustainable market if I invest now? Is it just because of the rush of everyone coming in and it's all a hype? And I'm here to tell you that there are some wonderful things coming, which I'm about to share with you guys, that make it a sustainable market and will allow you to make a really good decision in investing on a long-term basis and potentially have really good cash flow coming in from your investments. Because I mean, that's what the whole purpose of investing is, to have that return on your investment. Oh, hi, Nini. So,
hello.
Hey, I saw you pop up in there and I didn't greet you, so I thought I'd stop for a second.
Thank you for organizing this. I'm excited to hear everything you have to share.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for listening and being here. So for starters, we all want to invest in property at some, that's why we're in that group. And this was a good form of us being able to kind of discuss the subjects of investing here in Windsor. So as everyone knows, or if you don't know yet, Windsor is one of the hottest markets in Canada, period. A lot of investors have come and purchased properties out here because of the low cost and it being in Ontario. Because just about a year and a half ago, some of these houses were being sold for like $150,000. They weren't even going for the prices that we have right now. And the Windsor market has seen, from since June of last year to now, about a 43% increase in house value. And that's huge because, I mean, compared to Toronto GTA, which is about 17%, that is big. On the downside, it does kind of cause a problem for those who live here and those who already have houses or trying to buy houses in this area. It becomes a little bit expensive for those, but there has been a significant increase, about 6,000 new members to the population out here and growing. So a lot of out-of-towners are relocating because of the pandemic and because they now can work remotely. A lot of people are saying, hey, you know what, scratch these $1 million houses. Let's move somewhere to a big city, somewhere affordable. And because the market is so affordable, a lot of people are making the choice to Windsor. So you're not alone. Whether you're an investor where you're planning on moving here, that is definitely something a lot of people are considering. So investing in Windsor, you're not just getting the locals, you're getting people like yourself coming in, maybe want to rent first or purchase or whatever it may be before they come, as they come out here. So where we're at is, if you're going to purchase a property out here, there's a few things that you have to consider. Area is definitely a concern. A lot of people say, oh, what area do you want to choose? What area do you want to live in? I heard how, you know, close to the university might not be good. Maybe somewhere that isn't around where you can get students, because some people don't want students. So everyone has their different criteria and the different things that they look for. I would say don't rule out anything when it comes to Windsor, because although it is a major city here in the West, it is also small and anywhere you can get within 20 minutes drive. So there are people that come downtown for work who need the border crossing. So you can't rule out a specific area. Yes, downtown Windsor, there are older homes in that area, just like you would find kind of like downtown Toronto. So you will find older homes in downtown Windsor, and you will find areas where you might see, you know, the homeless. But because of the big boom in the market out here, a lot of these streets are completely being flipped, renovated. Investors are taking them, just doing them up really nice and making sure that, you know, they change the value of the property and the look, whether it's curb appeal, cleaning it up, renting to good tenants. And the city is quickly turning over because the desirable area is where the money's at, period. Okay, so if it's gonna give me that cash flow that I want, and I'm not gonna have headaches with tenants because I selected the right tenants for my property, then I don't rule anything out when it comes to Windsor. You just wanna make sure you get your inspection, try your best to make sure you look over and you're not getting a house that has a lot of headache. Or if you are buying something that needs fixing, making sure it's appraised inspected properly, and you have a contractor give you a proper quote on how much your investment in that property would be, so that you can make an informed decision moving forward. How much capital I have to put into this property before being able to start seeing a return on my investment, and how much return, and how fast I'll get that return on that investment. So those are all things that you have to kind of look into when you're purchasing. I mean, this goes for any city, not just Windsor, but this is just something that's common out here that I thought I'd mention for those who are not and who do not know much about investing in property, period, and are just starting out. These are definitely things you have to look into. All right, so where we're at now is we're just kind of looking at what areas, and like I said, it's all about what you're looking for. If you move a little bit to the east of the city, you're getting newer builds. So of course, when you have newer properties, you can charge a little more for rent if you're looking to BRRRR your properties. So if you're going a little bit in the east end of the town, let me see if I can share my screen so that you guys can see. 1 second. Okay, so here is the here's the map of Windsor. So if you're kind of here, if you see my cursor here, if you're more in this area of Windsor, which is in the east, on this side, you're gonna get a lot of newer builds in that area. That's like zone 4, zone 5. Zone 5 is more like Tecumseh, so it's a little bit outside of the actual Windsor city. But if you're in that area, you'll get newer homes, a little bit of area 6 also too in there, 4 and 6. That's kind of like 4 is kind of like the east end. So you're going to get like newer builds in that area. And the rent in that area would be obviously a little bit higher. So where I would rent a house in the east, in the west, which would be in like zone 2 area, or central, which would be kind of like zone 3 area. Those you would kind of get, let's say if I was to rent in that area, the rent I was to do, let's say a detached property, I can do a detached home, maybe anywhere between 17 to like 1900 a month for like a single family, not really including the basement, just a single family home. When you go more to the east end, which is in this zone over here, you're looking a little bit more at, the east is right here. So you're looking more at like maybe 21 to even $3,000, depending on the scale, the size of the house, obviously, for a single family home. So where I prefer, and where I would say you get a little bang for your buck, because even though you can get higher rents in the east, your mortgage and your payments will obviously be a lot more. So I would say, where you would get that bang for your buck would be, and everyone probably sees me post about this a lot, would be in west area, central, or in where you would get those older homes, but in the duplexes and the multiplex properties. So that way you can get something that's a little more affordable. You can get multiplexes anywhere from like $299 to like $500,000, average. And that way you can, say if you have 3 units, you can get rent from all those units, and then, you're getting 17, or you're getting maybe a 16 or so for your 2-bedroom. You're getting a 1,000 or 1,100 for your 1-bedroom. You're getting, maybe 17, 18 for a 3-4 bedroom. And then you're splitting that between all of those, and then you're paying your debt service. Ultimately, you would get a better cash flow before tax on that property. So investing in multi-units would be the way to go, because now you're timesing your income by how much units or units that property has, and you're maximizing on that property as best as you can. When you're looking at investing in a property that has multi-units, obviously, and what most people are concerned with is how do you manage that property when you're living in like the GTA or you're living far away. So there's ways and means around that. For one, a lot of people would go with a local property management company, have them collect the rent, keep the property, deal with any tenant issues, which would obviously take a lot of stress and concern off of you. However, it does hit your pocket. So you do have to pay for that, and that would come out and affect your cash flow in the end. So finding solutions and finding ways to be able to manage your property remotely would be ideal. If you can somehow manage the property in a way that you're a little less hands-on, a little more, hey, you know what, I have my local services that I call, but I manage it myself. So if you have your electrician or you're just a handyman in the area, you have apps where you can download and you can find the right handyman, maybe gets 4 stars, 5 stars, and find someone who's local landscaper who does like mowing, get his rates. And so that way you're hiring these people yourself, you're managing it remotely. As far as the rent collection, we know you do not need to pick up checks every week like the good old days, or every month like the good old days. Now you have e-transfer. So the only other thing would be emergency calls, but whatever that emergency would be, you call the appropriate service provider for that emergency. It is 3 hours if you're just coming from the GTA, could be more how far you're coming from, but making that trip, it's literally just straight down the 401, stay on the 401, don't go anywhere, it brings you right into Windsor. So if you have to, and if need be, you need to come into the town to check on your property or to handle anything, the odd time that happens, then you have that opportunity, and it's pretty straightforward, the drive down. Just play some music, add a friend, chat. The time goes by really fast. When I was in the GTA, I used to work in Barrie. My house was in Brampton. It would take me an hour and 20 minutes. Sometimes if I had to do a couple different trips, I'd be on the road sometimes for 5-6 hours with that traffic. So, I mean, you take a straight road down and take that time. Going back to multiplex units, there are a few of them, a lot of them that come available as of late. Well, actually, it depends on what you plan on, how much you want to invest initially. If you want to fix me upper and you buy it for cheap and you have a lot of capital that you can put into renovations, get that up and running, because ultimately you're going to be having a good cash flow on it and it's worth the investment, then you can get a fix me upper, something that's cheaper. If you want more of like a turnkey property, then from there, you would want to get something that's already renovated. You might have to pay a little bit more, but it's kind of hands-free. You don't have to really come down. You don't really have to worry about anything. So property management, it could be, Norda was asking if property management is typically 10% of rent. It is reasonable. It is 10% of each month. You just kind of play that's the going rate literally for property management. I would say it is reasonable, but remember that is still coming out of your cash flow. So whether you want to put that towards that, if you have really good cash flow and you have some room, then yeah, I would opt for property management and use that instead of the extra headache of having to find people. Okay, so another thing when looking out for property out here, you're going to get a lot of listings. There's a lot of listings out here for multiplexes. The only thing is because the economy has changed so quickly, and because just a year ago, these houses were $100,000, the rent was so much cheaper. The rent had gone up by a lot. The houses have gone up. So what's happening is we have a lot of these homes with long-term tenants who are paying like really low amounts for rent. So they're paying like $500 sometimes, including their utilities, some of them $600, $800. But if you're purchasing a property that's $600,000 and you have to get a new mortgage and they're charging you for that property, the going rate now, that rent that you were going to be collecting before, like that rent that is being collected on that property is not going to cut it. It's not going to provide cash flow. Or if it does, it's going to cash flow really low and not leave you with a really good cap rate at the end of the day. So when I'm looking for an investment property that is a multiplex, I'm looking for a property that has either the tenants are paying like close to market as of now rent, or a vacant property, one that has no tenants. So then I can set my own rates. Corey, you're asking what a typical cash flow percent is like in that area. You mean like the cap rate, you mean? Like I said, it all depends. So you would see a lot of 5% for a cap rate. There are some that have more. I usually hunt out the ones that have like 6+, at least if there's 1 or 2 vacant units in it. If it's not completely vacant, I'm kind of hunting for those. I was able to help some of my buyers find some vacant ones. I find that those ones, you have to act really fast, and the prices are usually a little bit higher, but not still, because it's Windsor, it's not too bad. So you can get those and they are available. You have to snatch them up as soon as you see them, kind of thing. Norda was asking, what evidence do you get from the seller regarding the current? When we get a listing, the listing comes with documents. And sometimes in those documents, the listing agent will post on it like, okay, these are the financials, this person pays on time. You pretty much have to ask them for whatever it is that you need. If you need information regarding how the tenants pay, you can request that. Sometimes they don't give you that information right off the bat. Sometimes they want you to put an offer first and then they'll provide it. Sometimes they let you have that info right in the document section, and you can pull that up and take a look at, okay, who pays on time. If it's a really considerate person and they have good tenants, they usually like to boast about that. So if they do post it, then you know what to expect with that. Other than that, they would usually just write, okay, what unit A makes, what unit B, how much comes in from there, how much your hydro is, how much your insurance is, whatever you have to pay for, if you have to pay utilities, what the average is that comes in for that. And then that way you add up all of your expenses, you look at what your mortgage payment will be for the year. You get your gross operating income minus your expenses. From that, that'll give you your net operating income. And then when you get your net operating income, then you're able to look and minus your debt service, which is your mortgage payment. And that should be able to give you what your cash flow before taxes. So then you look at it and you say, okay, every year after my expenses are paid, after everything is done, then you'll be able to say, okay, this is how much I stand to make every year as profit. So where we're at now, if we're looking for, I did find some, I can just kind of give you guys an idea. I'll share my screen again and show you guys a little bit about the market out here so you can see. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here are some properties. What I did in this one, sometimes some of the multiplexes, they'll be in the multiplex section and you'll be able to take a look at them and be able to say, this is how much it is. This is what the rate is. Some of them you're not going to find, especially if they're not selling really well. Some of them you might not find on the multi-family section. You might just find them in the regular residential section because they sell, the residential section gets a lot more attention. So I'm just going to go to this property right here on Giles. So for a property like this is just a basic house. This one is a duplex, so it has 2 units. The listing price is $399,000. Okay. By the time, usually with the duplexes, I find that they don't go that much over asking as the detached houses do. So with the duplexes, something like this in this neighborhood may go around 50 to 75 over asking. The average price over asking in the area is usually around 50 to 150. So a regular single family property could go as high as like 150 over asking. That's because of a lot of out-of-town investors. But with the duplexes and the multiplexes, surprisingly, they don't usually go that much over asking. They usually go at asking. I've even seen some go below asking, depending on how long it's been on the market. But a lot of times when it goes below, it's because the cash flow is not that great. Okay, so a property like this, just giving you guys an example, this is in a decent area. Something like this would go for it's listed for $399. You may be able to get it for about $399, or if there's other people bidding on it, then you're probably gonna go a little bit more, maybe at like $450. So I wanna give you guys, I wanna jump right to talking about the projections, like how the city is doing. So right now, there is some money being put in from the government into establishing the Windsor area and creating it so that you have more jobs for the residents in Windsor, which means people being able to afford higher rent prices that come along with the new investors that are here. But what's coming to the area is the government has put a lot of thought into establishing Windsor and getting it into, because it's one of the main cities in the West, like Leamington to Chatham, all of them, we're like the major city to all of these surrounding areas. So money has gone in already into upgrading like the downtown core area, the Riverside, there's the casino here. There's a bridge that's being built, I believe that should be done in like 2 more years. So that's a lot of construction jobs coming. There's a mega hospital coming. That's about $4.8 million mega hospital coming here, going to supply a bunch of jobs. But also the car company, the main industry out here is manufacturing. And as a lot of people know, it is the focus of the auto industry out here in Canada. So because the autos are now being automated, autonomic, I don't think I'm pronouncing this right, where these self-driving cars and these electric cars are all coming back. So these companies are now looking to start upgrading their vehicles. Okay, so there's a large company that is looking to put their battery plants here, and this is going to be like a $5 billion battery plant that they're going to put right here in Windsor, which will create jobs for all the locals. Not to mention the upgrades that the local auto industry is going to be making. That also is creating jobs. And a lot of people, a lot of companies and investors have been moving their businesses here to Windsor. So I think the ability to sustain these prices and these rentals and the market out here is definitely like something that's almost guaranteed. So we're going to have a big boom in the market here in Windsor. They've been preparing for years to get it up and running.
So today we learned that Windsor is a growing and thriving community and will definitely give you bang for your buck with your investments. For more information, or just to simply answer some of your questions regarding investing in property here in Windsor, feel free to reach out to me at nikki@nrec.ca.